This is my devlog for week 5. At the start of the week, Ethan and Steve held a meeting. This was for all the artists. We essentially went through what we'd all been working on for that week, what plans we had for our models, where we're at with the models, and also what barriers we'd faced for the week, whether that being kind of lack of FBXs or just problems in general with some of the softwares and things. But yeah, we generally just talked about what we were working on and how we were getting on. So for this week, I've mainly been working on my microscope. I did a lot more detail within the main body and added some other little bits to it. I also added a petri dish with like an opacity material on it, so that it can then be like see-through glass. I'll now show it in Maya. So if we swing around, I've added dials and eye scopes up here. Final little detail like these little holders. This main body, which would have a light coming through. I've then gone on to the UVs. So I started unwrapping these in two different sections just so I could get the main body and then all the dials and detail on a different UV. I've essentially been doing cylindrical UV unwrapping and camera-based UV unwrapping, also using unfold, straighten, and stack similar shells. This was so I could get a better seam placement of the model. So this is the checkerboard for my microscope. We can see from the little white lines here that the UVs haven't got random seams kind of placed everywhere. I've put them on a hard edge essentially, because the problem I was having before is that when I was doing some of the other unwrapping techniques, I was getting random seams all over the place. So I've tried to use camera-based and cylindrical to keep all the seams nice and neat. So at this point, I thought I was ready to go in and texture, but when I've gone to put the bake on it, I've seen some issues in Substance Painter. As we can see here, this tray underneath the Petri dish is a little bit shadowy. I wasn't really sure why. I also had the same problem on the top section that connects the eye scopes. So I've gone back and done some averaging on the mesh display and hard and soften edges, but this hasn't seemed to fix it, so I'm going to need to go back and fix that at some point. So as I had that shadowing on this middle tray, I essentially went and rebuilt this whole section. I put some bevels on it because I hoped that maybe that would fix the shadowing. I didn't know if it was like indented or anything. I also cleaned up these edges a little bit, did some different connecting to see if that would also fix it, and then did a hard and soften edge on it. It's still a little bit shadowy, but it is a lot better than it was before. So as I mentioned earlier, I had some problems with the seams on the eye cups. This is what they looked like before, and after I'd gone and fixed them and rechanged the seam placement on the UVs, they did look a lot better in this below seam picture. I then did some more in-depth referencing for textures. I wanted to make sure that the theme was on point. We wanted to keep everything kind of on a Russian theme. I also wanted to make sure that there was colours that could be worn. I wanted to keep some brass on there as well to try and give it like a more of a 50s element. So I finished out my week with some texturing. I've got the base coat on so far with some edge wear on there. This isn't fully finished yet. I've got a little bit more to do, such as decals. I wanted to get some stickers on the microscope, and I wanted to put some fonts on the dials. That would be like numbers, just to change the magnification. I've got the blue, yellow, and red tips on the section here, just to show which like magnification you're using. I need to finish the petri dish off as well. I'm also going to go back and clean up this shadowing because it's a little bit more pronounced once the texture's on there. I've also done a metallic value on the eye cups here to show that it's kind of like glass, so we can see like a bit more reflection in there. And I've done some color variation as well. I've got a blue and a white so far. I'll do a couple more color variations, I think, just so we can kind of reuse the asset through the scene. Okay, thank you.